When talking about Regulation E, could you expand on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App being defined as financial institutions and exactly whose responsibility it is to do what when it comes to error resolution?
So those Q&As that came out in December were extremely important on that side of the equation. Okay, not the bank side. As a bank, we knew we might be liable for some of these transfers. Now, it did clarify some things for us. But on the third party side of the issue, those Q&As, matter of fact, state that they're on the hook, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. And so if the customer goes to them, then they have to deal with Reg E, just like you have to deal with Reg E. They have timeframes. They have provisional credit requirements. They need to make the customer whole. If the customer comes to you, the Q&As also clarify that you need to do the same thing. There is a very small loophole, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but I can tell you that it exists. There's a very small loophole in Reg E that says for certain P2P transaction, or it doesn't use the word P2P, but third-party transactions like this, if certain criteria are met, you might be able to pass the buck solely onto the third party. But I can tell you it's few and far between, and it's only ever going to apply to certain ACH transactions, when will never apply when the transaction is a debit card transaction. And you might say, well, how will we know? Well, we've researched this. We've gone and looked at bank accounts. You'll be able to see the type of transaction that the bank conducted through the third-party app in order to carry out the transaction. Most of the time, they're debit card transactions, which means you're going to have to pick up the dispute and follow Reg E if the dispute comes to you first, rather than going to Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, etc.